Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blair's Always Right. This is show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blair's Always Right. This is the show where I talk my shit, run my mouth, and give all of my opinions, which are usually unpopular, but always right. Now, wake that up. Actually, hold on. Oh, where's it at? Oh, wait. Clock that T. Clock that T. Matter of fact, yeah, it's a celebration. What are we celebrating? I don't know. The second episode of my show. That's what we're celebrating. Today's episode is going to be a little more disjointed. I don't have notes. No notes. We're just going to talk. Also, I do have coffee and water. Okay. So, oh, so my throat won't be getting dry. Hopefully, I won't be talking like this by the end of the episode. But that is neither here nor there. This episode might be public. I don't know. But if so, I'm just gonna post it, and whoever finds it, let them niggas come find me. I just trapping like I don't got that design up pussy. All I'm trying to see is them credit cards. Why you better find me? Anyways, yeah, hey. I had so much fun recording the episode yesterday that I have more things to talk about and thinking, and I'm thinking more and have more words to say. So I'm just gonna come on here and just like talk and stuff. Yeah. So hey, we're here. Back with another episode of There's Always Right. You know what I mean? First thing, let's talk about something that I just seen on Twitter earlier. Baby, somebody tweeted and said something along the lines of, everything I'm saying here is paraphrasing. It was like, no shade, but Beyonce is more of a vocal Bible than the people y'all be saying. Obviously, the people y'all be saying is Brandy. Like, she's literally known as the vocal Bible. Which there is the argument to be made. There is an argument to be made. But somebody, a Brandy fan, responded with a clip of a Brandy song and said, "Oh, I'd like to see Beyonce do this." So then a Beehive quote tweeted that with with a clip from Virgo's Groove and said, "I'd like to see Brandy do this." Now, here's the problem. Brandy could do Virgo's Groove. You're gonna post a run and say Brandy can't do this? A run? The entire B-Day album is right there. Cause no shade. The entire post some of Get Me Bodied. Like, post some of Get Me Bodied and say, can Brandy do that? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you chose the most Brandy coded thing to say, can Brandy do that? Yes, she can do that, and she will do that. Are you crazy? Like, I was like, girl, why? That's dumb. Like, they really be talking about it slow hive, girl. Like, girl. Oh, this is gonna be an episode. I'm responding to Jeremiah. Actually, we're recording right now, and we're at this building. Oh, I forgot to address the thing. Anyways. This building, I don't know. It's giving outside at the building, girl. We're at the building, girl. Meet me outside, girl. They got lights on the stairs, girl. And, ooh, I wonder what's going up in there. This kind of looks like the Watergate Hotel. It don't, but it's kind of giving me, what if Watergate's happening right in there? Oh my gosh. What if they call someone having sex on the stairs, y'all? Let's look. Wait, I'm trying to look close. Okay, anyways. Yeah, we're outside the building. She was. Also, I realized when I laugh, it's really loud on the camera. Well, hold on. This is so stupid. I don't care. This is not going to be professional. I don't care. If you want a professional show, go watch a professional show. That's not what this is. Oh, okay. I actually did type something that I wanted to talk about. What? Anyways, what I wanted to talk about is being an activist versus being an advocate. Let's get into this. Okay. I feel as though, now let's put on our woke caps. Let's really talk about it. Um, a lot of people on social media claim to be activists. Now, if we break down the word, okay? Sorry, guys. If y'all could see the setting, girl. Also, we're here today with Chris. Chris is a he, they lesbian. And, shout out. Is this gonna make my lips blue while we're talking? Anyway, yes. Okay, let's break down the word activist. What is the first three letters? ACT, act. Okay, so it involves action. Some of y'all claim to be activists when the action is reposting a post to your Instagram story, which is not a bad thing. That's what I do. That's most of where my participation in the movement comes from, is sharing stuff to my story, right? That's okay. That's great. It's great to be like boosting awareness and stuff like that. But then we got to get a little we got to get the terminology right. An activist, or are you an advocate? Are you advocating for these things? Do you see what I'm saying? Which again is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be an advocate. But then if you're an advocate, don't say you're an activist. Do you see what I'm saying? Because, and that's why I think a lot of people get caught up in performative activism, because you're just putting on a show claiming to be an activist. But if you said you were an advocate, then it wouldn't be performative, because that's what advocating for something is. It's talking about it. It's raising awareness for it. And that's okay. That's great. That's great. I saw somebody say, it was a post. Actually, what's her Instagram? Because like everything I see from her, she's always right. Hold on. Oh, Blair's always right. Is she a friend of the pod? Sorry, guys. Again, if you want a damn put together show, go watch one. Oh, I know that's wrong. What? Oh, this is not. Yes, the reclaimed. The reclaimed on Instagram. Where is it? Hold on. I'm gonna find it. Oh, yes. Okay. It says, this is a reminder that there are so many ways to resist. Some folks will hit the streets. Some folks will contact elected officials. Some folks will run for office. Some folks will raise money. Some folks will bail out protesters. Some will represent pro bono. Some will boycott. Some will shop local, marginalized, small businesses. Some will donate. Some will volunteer. All these folks are doing the work. We need everyone in their own lane, and it all matters. That is so true. So many people think, for example, was Rosa Parks up on I'm going to bring up March on Washington again. Was Rosa Parks up on the podium speaking? No, because that wasn't her thing. That wasn't her part of the resistance. That wasn't her part of the movement. Her part was when she told them people no on that bus. Do you see what I'm saying? Was Martin Luther King on that bus saying no? No, he wasn't, because that wasn't his part. His part was up speaking, doing the leading. You know what I'm saying? And so advocating is a huge part of the movement for freedom, the movement to... Ooh, why was she fainting in the background? Sorry. Just like, it's a big part of the movement, the resistance, the call for justice and things like that. So it's okay to be an advocate. It's great to be an advocate. Love an advocate. You know what I mean? But then just don't say activist, because it's not activist. Do you know? And I think so many people... That kind of brings to the point I was talking about on the last episode, about people thinking too highly of themselves. You're putting yourself on this huge pedestal claiming to be an activist, da-da-da-da. What actions, though? There's no actions. You're an advocate. Say you're an advocate. In my opinion, I would almost respect that more, you claiming to be an advocate, than claiming to be an activist, but you don't really do nothing. Is this going to blend in? It kind of, can you see the building through it? No. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I would respect a lot more if you said you were an advocate instead of claiming to be an activist and you're not. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, I think we really need to get a hold on that. There's way too many people claiming to be an activist. Also, can I be real? I almost kind of feel like the term social media activist is kind of an oxymoron. Ooh, ooh, no shade, no shade, because unless you are actually on social media organizing and putting together efforts and putting together like on like a mutual aid GoFundMe, and you're organizing things that way, getting supply, you know what I mean, unless there's actual actions, which a lot of you there's not, you know what I'm saying, you're an advocate, and that's okay. Be an advocate. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just a little like, it seems a little self-righteous. It seems like you're taking yourself way too seriously. You're putting yourself on a pedestal that you should not be on. Um, and instead of everyone trying to claim to be an activist when you're really an advocate, what if we really take that time and did and your advocacy to lift up activists? What if we recognize, okay, these people are actually activists. Let's advocate for them and put them on the pedestal instead of everybody trying to. It ain't enough pedestals in the world for all of you heifers to be up on there. It's too many pedestals. It's too many pedestals. Get off. Get off. Y'all are weighing down the pedestal, and the pedestal was up here, but since 50 million of y'all jumped on it, now you're weighing it down. Why are you weighing down the pedestal? Girl, the pedestal's supposed to be up here. But because there's too many heifers on the pedestal, the pedestal's down here. And that's why, another reason why there's not much actual real tangible change happening, because too many of y'all way down the pedestal. When we talk about people who are leading the civil rights movement, notice how it's a handful of names, only a few people that everyone focused on, and they led it, and everyone did their part under them. Nowadays, if you were to try and talk about people leading the movement, there's 70,000 names, because everybody want to be the leader. Everybody can't be the leader. Everybody can't be the activist. So be the advocate. That's great. Again, some will hit the streets. Some will call their elected officials. Some will shop and keep shop local and small businesses and black businesses and stuff like that to keep the money in the community. Some people will do this and do that and do this and do that. And that's okay. Everybody don't got to do everything. Everybody can't do everything. And if everybody's trying to do everything, where does anything get? Nowhere. So y'all need to start playing y'all role and be the advocate. Be the advocate. Be the advocate. You know what I'm saying? Be the advocate you wish to see in the world, girl. Yes. I feel like such a woman today. Yeah. Sorry. I realize it's really loud when I laugh. And I think I already said that. I think I need to set the mic up somewhere and keep it there. and keep it far away from my mouth. But nothing can stay away from my mouth for too long. Sorry. Anyways. Anyways. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about In the Line of Fire. That's the movie I watched yesterday. That was crazy. The movie I talked about that has the bad green screen, but I'm okay with it. Okay. I'm so glad I wrote that down because I did want to talk about that, but I forgot to talk about it. Okay. Oh, I just saw another topic I had written down that I want to talk about too. This episode has no direction today. I'm just, girl, it's word salad, word soup, girl. I gave it 4 stars. In the Line of Fire, 4 out of 5 stars. We're going to start off with reading my Letterboxd review. What did I say? Okay. I just recently started actually getting into Letterboxd and actually going on and reviewing movies after I watch them. So, this was my 3rd time watching it, but I think my 1st time reviewing it. I think. Did I already review it before? I don't know. I reviewed it now. I said, love just about everything in this movie, especially John Malkovich, but Eastwood's character is kind of unsympathetic. I also don't really love the romance subplot. Other than that, this movie is #too good. Let's get into it. Okay, for those of you who don't know, In the Line of Fire is about a Secret Service agent who's trying to stop this guy from assassinating the president of the United States. Now, the Secret Service agent in question, his name is Frank Horrigan. His name is Frank Horrigan. Just came up with that off the top of my head. And he used to be a Secret Service agent for John F. Kennedy, and he was there the day of the assassination. Clearly, he didn't do his job good enough. Sorry, he was JFK's favorite. What's it called? This is not based off a true story at all. So this is all like made up. But he was JFK's favorite Secret Service agent. He was also the flop. Yeah, and John Malkovich plays Mitch Leary, who's trying to assassinate the president. We also have Renee Russo, hey girl, Dylan McDermott, hey, Gary Cole, Fred Thompson, and a bunch of other flops. Actually, this diva Patricia Darbo, yeah, shout out to her. Anyways, yes, and Mitch Leary, John Malkovich's character, girl, let me freaking tell you. Somebody said, I did see someone bring up the point, like, every good thriller needs a great villain. John Malkovich in this movie is one of the best villains. Excuse me. Because he kind of is fighting a righteous cause. Now, see, one problem I've realized with me. Okay. Let's take a quick break from that. We're gonna pivot for a moment. We're gonna come back. It's like in the road, we're going this way, but we're gonna weave back onto the road, okay? I always root for villains. I'm always gonna root for the villain. I don't know why. I think it might come from the fact that, like, in most situations, everyone always sees me as the villain anyways. So I'm kind of like, all the villains, like, y'all are my sisters secretly. So I kind of have to defend all the villains. I love a villain. Like, Kenya Moore on Housewives. Okay, Hannibal Lecter. Let's take a let's take a detour of the detour. Oh, wait. As a matter of fact, as we're talking about Hannibal, hold on one moment. While we're talking about Hannibal, hey girl. Actually, while we're talking about Hannibal, hey girl. Hannibal Lecter is not the villain in The Silence of the Lambs. And can I be real? If we really want to get down to the nitty gritty, neither is Buffalo Bill. Neither is Buffalo Bill. And first of all, Hannibal Lecter is not the villain. He's not the villain. I don't know who needs to hear this. Hannibal Lecter's not the villain. If anything, he's the anti-hero. Because Clarice is the hero. He's literally helping her. He's the protagonist. And what? No, but, like, he's not the villain. People try to make him out to be the villain. Villain how? Literally, the entire movie, he's helping Clarice. Granted, he's only like it. The gag is, how long is the movie? It's on my lock screen, so we're going to check. 123 minutes, and he's in about 16 of them. He's only in 16 minutes of the movie. Still won the Best Actor Oscar. And what? Your faith could never. Anyways, he's helping Clarice the whole time. No tea, no shade. Now, okay, I spoke about this on my podcast, but in the book, he helps her a lot more. So in the movie, they did kind of let Clarice come to some conclusions on her own, which I do love. It was a great choice in the adaptation, but Hannibal is helping her the entire time. Every time they meet, he's giving her clues. Yes, does he kind of make her give up a piece of herself in the process? Sure. But I mean, what else was he gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, he's not the villain at all. If anything, the villain is Jack Crawford. And honestly, the real true villain of the movie is misogyny. That's the true villain. Are we all clear about that? That's the true vision. The vision. MTV's House of Visions. No, the true vision. No! Okay. The true villain is misogyny in the movie. I mean, we have Buffalo Bill who's literally killing women. That's para uno. Y para dos. One of these days I'm going to be fluent in Spanish. One of these days I'm going to be fluent in Spanish. Like, literally, I need to learn Spanish now. I need to do it. I've kind of been like, but I think I just need to maybe read a Spanish book. I think reading a Spanish book or reading stuff in Spanish would help me learn it better than watching it. Because when I watch Spanish stuff, I can't keep up. And since I don't know the words, I don't know. Let's say they say something, a phrase. I don't know which word was which. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on. And it doesn't compute for me. But if I were to read it and look it up as I go, and read it in context, read it at my own pace, at my own speed, I think I'd be able to learn it better. Also listening to music too, just because when I listen to songs, I listen to songs to sing them. I don't listen to songs to hear them. That's a big reason why I don't like listening to new songs, because I need to sing along to the song. So when I listen to songs, I already learned the lyrics so that I can sing them. So if I were to so when I listen to Spanish music, I'm going to look up the lyrics so I can sing it. And now I also want to know what it means. Like, Amor Prohibido by Selena. I love that song. You know what I mean? And I know the words. And I kind of know what she's saying. Or Mi Mayor Venganza by La India. I learned the lyrics so I could sing it. And then I learned what the lyrics mean. So now I know what she's saying. You know what I mean? Like, yo te no regalo. Llévatelo lejos. Él es mala suerte. Y yo no lo quiero, mi mayor venganza será. Anyways, but yeah, so I feel like listening to Spanish music, reading Spanish books, I need to learn Spanish. Anyways, back to the one thing. For one, Buffalo Bill is literally killing women. That's kind of like the story. But also, the entire movie is Clarice being stopped by men. It's men stopping her from what she's doing. And every time she goes against a man is when she gets further and further in the case. And literally the final thing, spoiler alert, I don't know. The final thing in the movie, her killing Buffalo Bill and saving, what's the girl named Catherine, is literally because she didn't listen to Jack Crawford when he said he was about to go arrest Buffalo Bill. But she still kept looking for more, and she still kept going even after he kind of told her, well, girl, it's done. Actually, even when the FBI director and Paul Krendler kicked them off the case, she still went and kept investigating when a man told her not to. And that's what pushed them further in the thing too. Jack Crawford said, don't let Lecter inside your head. When she let Lecter inside her head, that's when she got further in the case. Every single time a man told her what to do, she went against it, and it helped. Because the men were trying to do things the old way. They were trying to exclude her as a woman. They didn't think highly of her as a woman. But she kept going. So misogyny truly is the real villain of The Silence of the Lambs. And Hannibal Lecter not a villain. And honestly, in the book, it goes deeper into Buffalo Bill's, why he is the way he is. And stuff like that. It is kind of sad. I mean, he was still killing them women, though. But the music taste. Let's talk about Buffalo Bill music taste. Goodbye Horses. Goodbye horses. Hey, hey. I'm flying over you. Ooh, ooh. That song is good. I don't care. Anyways, yeah. So Buffalo Bill, he kind of a victim. He's like the villain. The real villain of the film is living vicariously through Buffalo Bill. So Buffalo Bill is a victim of the villain in the ways that he's a tool for the villain. Follow me. Anyways, yeah, and Hannibal's helping the whole time. He's not the villain. Anyways, okay, yeah, I was saying all this to say that I always love villains. I always root for villains. Just because, they're often misunderstood, actually. Also, especially in hold on, especially in political thrillers, which I love. I love a good late 80s, early 90s political thriller. I love them. I love them. Air Force One, In the Line of Fire. There's another one. There's another one I can't think of. I just love them. They're so fun. They're so fun. Actually, I have a book. I have a stack of books over here, and it's at the very bottom. I'm not getting it. It's called The Camel Club. It's a political thriller fiction. I'm gonna be reading that. Actually, I might start reading that today. But yeah, I always root for villains, especially in the political thrillers, because often they're fighting a noble cause, girl. Fuck America. Like, are you serious, girl? And okay, I was watching Air Force One while I was kind of agreeing with the terrorists. I was like, wait a minute, y'all kind of ate though. Y'all kind of got a point. But yeah, I'm always rooting for the villains, and the underdogs, because plus I think I also do it to just like be different, go against the grain. Everybody hates the villain. Well, now I love the villain. Now what? Now what? Every time I see a bunch of people hating something, that just makes me want to go love it even more. Just because I'm like, okay, why is everybody hating on her? Now that's my sister. Now what? And now what? And I got her back. Hate her all you want to, and now you have to hate me too. You don't want to hate me. Actually, a lot of people do. I was thinking about that recently. I was talking about that actually too. I'm a very polarizing figure. People either love me or they hate me. Oftentimes hate me. No. People oftentimes love me, but a lot of times hate me. There's not a lot of people who are indifferent to me and who are like, oh yeah, Blair's cool. It's either like, oh yeah, I like Blair, or I don't like Blair. You know what I mean? There's nobody that's kind of like, okay. Just because I'm a big personality, I have a big loud personality. I'm a big loud bitch. Like, it just is. It is what it is. I've been talking a lot. I need to. Anyways. So yeah, I love villains because oftentimes I wind up being the villain. So I understand what it's like to be misunderstood. And I love a good villain who knows they're the villain but doesn't care because they stand on business. Cause where was I talking about this? I think my close friends, where usually villains are the most true to themselves. Was I talking about this? Some things when I say I was talking about it to myself. I was still talking though. Villains are oftentimes more true to themselves in movies than the heroes. The heroes are oftentimes the ones who are going through the journeys of self-discovery. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen The Dark Knight, but I watched a video essay about the writing and the script of it. In The Dark Knight, throughout the whole movie, the Joker knows exactly who he is. He knows what's right about him, what's wrong about him, knows exactly who he is. Batman is the one who's going on the journey to find out things about himself. The Joker's true to himself the entire time. Villains are oftentimes the most true to themselves. And that's why everyone hates them. And the heroes, again, the hero's the one going on the journey of self-discovery. The villains 9 times out of 10 know exactly who they are and are true to themselves the entire time. And I think that's another reason why I like villains a lot, because they're true to themselves. They're honest with themselves about who they are and they stand in it. You know what I mean? And a lot of times heroes don't. The people I'm supposed to root for are not true to themselves. They don't know who they are. And you know what I mean? I don't like that. So yeah, I love a villain who knows who the villain and stands on that and is true to themselves. And I was watching a video of Aaron Sorkin talking about writing villains, and he said, when you write a villain, you cannot believe that they're the villain. And when you write for them, you need to be making this person's case to God on why they should be allowed into heaven. When you're writing a villain, you need to believe, and the character needs to believe, that they are truly fighting a righteous cause, whatever it is. And that's why I love a good villain. Because when there's a good villain, you can't help but see things from their perspective. And like, hold on a minute. Well, maybe they're onto something a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Also, oftentimes when you really truly look at the hero, are they the hero? You know what I mean? And yeah, that's the main reason why. Oh yeah, I say all this to say, John Malkovich is such a good villain. His character Mitch Leary is such a good villain in The Line of Fire, and John Malkovich is on fire in this movie. Every time you see him, it is believable. It is a little bit creepy. It's a little bit scary, and you understand how he is able to do what he does in the movie. Again, spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I'm not giving you a time to skip to because I don't know what time to skip to. You know how they say skip to this time? I'm not even going to even try to put that because I don't care. Spoiler alert, girl. Turn this video off, go watch the movie, and come back, girl. It's free on Tubi and Pluto right now. So yeah, pause this, go watch In the Line of Fire, and come back. Exactly. Okay, now we're back. And if you didn't leave, what the fuck is wrong with you? His character, we wound up finding out that he was an assassin for the CIA. And he's also a master of disguise too. But you see how he does what he does, and you're like, damn, I kind of got to give it to you because you're good at what you do. You're good at what you do. He literally he made a gun from scratch out of plastic so that it wouldn't go off in metal detectors. And he made a keychain that was like a little, like a rabbit tail, but it was hollow, so he could put bullets in it. So when he walked through a metal detector and it went off, he would just take his keys out of his pocket and they'd be like, oh, okay, well, here you go. Do you see? And he'll just walk up to somebody, just shoot him. And he's so calm and that it's disarming. And honestly, John Malkovich is kind of hot in the movie. Sorry. So you can understand why somebody's like, hey. He would have got me. He would have got me and he would have killed me so bad. America, please don't tell me we're starting with this already. Please don't tell me we're starting with this, with the audio thing cutting out. Like, I swear I'm not about it. I'm not with the mess. I'm not with the mess at all. Anyways, yeah, he's so disarming and charming in the movie that it's like, he's good at what he does. He's good at what he does. And when he explains why he's doing what he's doing, the main reason is because he was in the CIA assassinating people. I almost just said assassinating people. And then all of a sudden, like, I forget, did he get kicked out of the CIA? Or did he leave? Basically, he kind of makes the point of, y'all taught me how to be a heartless, soulless killer, and now y'all are mad at me for being a heartless, soulless killer? Is that what I'm hearing? And he wants to kill the president because he's like, well, fuck you bitches. Like, girl, it is what it is. So it's like, I can't help but to root for you because that's so real. You train someone to be a heartless, soulless killer, and now you're mad that they're what you trained them to be? I'm confused. What are you mad about? And Clint Eastwood's character. Okay, let's talk about his character, Frank Horgan. He's kind of unsympathetic, especially because, okay, there's a bit of romance in the movie. Him and Rene Russo's character. What's her name? I'm thinking about it. What is her name? I can't think of it. Oh, I looked down to think. Lily Raines, that's what it was. I forgot. He kind of starts flirting with her by kind of being misogynistic. And it's like, and then they wound up hooking up and getting together. And I'm like, but he was just but you would, girl, you're setting us back. Like, please. So yeah, it's kind of like, it's weird. So there's already like a weird romance aspect and a weird like him almost being misogynistic aspect that I'm like, girl, what the freak is happening? And then also, you can tell he's not really fighting to save the president. as much as he's fighting to right the wrong of not being able to save JFK. So it's kind of like you're acting like you're fighting this right again a character not being true to themselves. You're acting like you're fighting this big noble battle to save the president. You're not doing that. You're trying to redeem yourself from feeling like you failed. Like, okay, this one's fun. Anyways, oh wait, you know what? Hold on. Wait. Wait, what is this? I could put the spotlight on me. Yeah. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? Anyways, I could not think of the melody to that song at all. Like, are you done? Okay. Because yesterday there was a whole bunch of stuff I had to, bro. Anyways, um, yeah, he wasn't being true to himself. And okay, oh, also, I kind of forgot to mention a big part of the plot. Mitch Leary, we'll just say the character, the actors. John Malkovich's character, Malkovich, not Milkovich. I'm crying. Hey, John Malkovich's character is calling Clint Eastwood's character and kind of taunting him. And so they kind of form a little bond and stuff. And he's kind of telling him, like, we're a lot more similar than you think. And John Malkovich's character keeps kind of throwing the JFK thing in Clint Eastwood character's face. So, you know what I mean? It does kind of, and the John Malkovich character does wind up kind of saying, like, girl, you're not doing this because you're, like, good at your job and you're not fighting some righteous cause. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this to right the wrong and the past mistakes. Oh, again, why I can't help but support him, because you're coming in and you're clocking the girls. So I kind of got to be like, ooh, was he wrong, America? I don't think he was wrong. Yeah, and the Clint Eastwood's character, it's just like, also, the whole movie, you're letting this man whoop on you, girl. He got him psychologically just tortured. There was a campaign event, and John Malkovich's character was there and started popping balloons. And so Clint Eastwood characters think it's gunshots. He does his big one. It's a gun, it's a gun. Everybody get down, da 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 da. Just to have to be like false alarm. And this was like the second time he did that. So it was like, you let this man get you 2 times. He just kept clocking him and clocking him and clocking him the whole movie, that I was like, I can't. I have no choice but to stand. I have no choice but to stand, because you're kind of eating. You're eating. Like, what am I supposed to say? And there's just one really good scene where John Malkovich's character is on the phone with Clint Eastwood's character. I think it's basically when he's telling him, like, the CIA trained me to be a savage killer. Now they're mad that I'm a savage killer. And the scene is so good. It's so good. It's so good. Like, I almost wish, it's kind of a back and forth phone call. I kind of wish they would have gave John Malkovich just one really good monologue. Just one really good monologue where they just let him play, because he's just so good. And when I watch a movie, I'm watching for believability. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, believability as that character. When I'm watching a movie, I'm paying attention to, when I'm like, do I see the character or do I see the actor? You know what I mean? Like, Devil Wears Prada. Okay. Do I see Miranda or do I see Meryl? You know what I mean? And that's truly, you see Miranda, because you know that's not how Meryl Streep is. So it's, you know what I mean? That's why I think wigs in movies are important. Changing your appearance in movies is, I think, kind of important. Because I truly think Jodie Foster having a brown bob is a big part of the reason why her character works, because you're not looking at Jodie Foster. You're looking at Clarice Starling. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and believability. Do I believe you right now? You know, like, when John Malkovich. I keep wanting to say Milkovich. When John Malkovich is, saying what he's saying, do I believe you? You know what I mean? That's a big thing I look at. Every moment he's on the screen, he's believable. Every single moment he's on the screen, he's believable. You believe every word that's coming out of his mouth. It, I'm not about to keep doing this. Yeah, every moment he's on the screen, he's believable. Okay, no, it's not getting blue, girl. It's gonna get scary. You believe him. He's believable. He's so good. He's just so good in the movie. It's kind of crazy. I almost wish. Um, I almost wish he got an Oscar nomination for it. Not even wish. I wish he would have got an Oscar nomination, and I feel like he could have won. Sorry, because it's too good. It's too good, and I think when actors have performances like that, when actors have performances like that they don't get awarded for, it's like, damn. Like Angela Bassett and What's Love got to do with it. She should have got the Oscar for that. She should have gotten the Oscar. She should have gotten the Oscar. Helen Hunt, or was it Holly Hunter? I think it was Holly Hunter. The fact that Helen Hunt and Holly Hunter are two different people, I hate it. Angela Bassett should have got the Oscar for that. That is a once in a lifetime performance. That is something that is just. She's so magnetic in that movie. She's so electrifying in that movie. She really takes you on a journey from this innocent girl to this woman who fights back and escapes and achieves and builds a life for herself outside of what people knew her as and outside of what she thought was possible. Tina Turner didn't even reach her biggest success until her 40s? Until her 40s, her mid 40s. She didn't start selling out arenas and stadiums around the world until her until her 40s, which is still like the craziest concept to me. Was also performing better than your faves in her 60s and 70s, but we won't go there. But we can. I think the next episode I'll talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah, Angela Bassett should have got the Oscar for that movie. It's really so sad. Also, okay, I think we're done talking about In the Line of Fire. It's just good. Go watch the movie. I don't know what to tell you. Whoopi Goldberg should have got the Oscar for The Color Purple. She should have got the Oscar for The Color Purple. Geraldine Page got the Oscar, and I don't care. And apparently, it was like her 6th or 7th nomination without a win. Something crazy. And she had been she was in the game 10 years strong. What is it? How to you in the game 10 years strong and they can't write your own songs? No, but she wasn't in the game for 10 years. That was just the lyric. But she was in the game for a long time. So I understand the politics of why she won. Also, apparently, the performance was really good. I've heard nothing but good things about her performance in that movie called A Trip to Bountiful. But, okay. Whoopi Goldberg gave a once-in-a-lifetime performance full of nuance, full of soul, full of heart, full of hurt, full of that. And she didn't win an Oscar for it. The movie had 11 nominations. 11 or 13. And I don't think it walked away with any. It's so ridiculous. Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple. Again, it's one of those believability things. When you're watching it, especially if you go in knowing Whoopi Goldberg, as who she is, there's not a moment where you're like, oh, Whoopi. No, it's silly the whole time. It's so good. It's so good. It's just a phenomenal performance. It really is an all-time performance. It's a once-in-a-lifetime performance. It's the type of performance that you give an Oscar to because you have no choice other than to give her the Oscar. She should have won an Oscar for that. She should have won an Oscar for that. I'm glad that she has an Oscar and she got it for Ghost, but something that my dad talks about all the time. Why is it that every time they finally give black people Oscars, it's for like little funny roles? Like Cuba Gooding Jr. and what is it, Jerry Maguire? Yeah, and Jerry Maguire. Or like Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost. Or, I mean, even Hattie McDaniel in Gone with the Wind. Why is it every time they finally give a black person an Oscar, it's for some little silly funny role or it's Denzel Washington? Like, why is that the only two options? It's ridiculous. And so, yes, I'm glad that she has an Oscar. I'm glad that Whoopi Goldberg has an Oscar. But it should have been for The Color Purple. I don't care. That win, first of all, she would have been the first black woman to win Best Actress. She was nominated in 1985. The first Best Actress win didn't happen till 2002, I think. So you see what I'm saying? It could have happened in the 80s. That win, that door could have been broken down way before it did. So it would have been so important for black women and for black actresses for her to win. Also, not only would it have been important for her to be the first black woman to win Best Actress, it would have also symbolized black stories being able to be told and respected. Hold on. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's horrible. That's horrible. Anyways, it would have symbolized black stories meaning something to the Academy, meaning something to the world. You know what I'm saying? Because this was a story about black women, about black triumph, about achieving in spite of. You know, literally everyone in the movie's black. Except for what? Miss Minnie and the mayor? That's about it. Other than that, everyone in the movie is black. So imagine if the movie got a bunch of respect at the Oscars and almost got that stamp of approval. I truly believe that the entire landscape of film would have been changed had Whoopi got that Oscar in 1985. I feel like there would have been a lot more license. Now, granted, that is kind of wishful thinking in a way, but I think studios are hungry for Oscars and hungry for money. And so if The Color Purple was able to be respected at the Oscars, I think it would have showed movie studios we can tell black stories and they can be worth something. Do you know what I mean? I think we would have seen a lot more black stories being told on such a large commercial scale. I think actresses, especially black actresses, would have probably been taken a lot more seriously a lot sooner. You know what I'm saying? If Whoopi got that Oscar in 85, I truly believe she should have gotten that Oscar. She should have gotten the Oscar. And you know why I think is not a big reason, but I think is part of the reason why she didn't win. Because of black men boycotting the movie and the Oscars. Because they said the movie puts black men in a bad light. A movie about a young black girl through some of the worst things that can happen to a person, still deciding to keep pushing forward in her life and still finding a light at the end of the tunnel and growing up into a black woman who does the same and who makes a way for herself and discovers who she is, who she truly is. And all black men could see was that it painted black men in a bad light. That's so crazy to me. Because is Miss Minnie a black man? Is the mayor a black man? No, they were villains in the movie too. But y'all only cared that it put black men in a bad light. And did it put black men in a bad light? Or did it put Mr. Daddy and Harpo? And are they every single black man? No. And what, you know what I mean? What would you rather have the story been? A white man beating on Silly? That's why. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that black men sat there and did that to that movie. And tried to get people to boycott it and turn on the movie. Are you serious? Again, black men blocking the blessings of black women. I still will never understand that to this day. And I do think it kind of contributed. Because, like, the NAACP was leading a thing to boycott the movie and boycott the Oscars. And it was this whole big movement, whole big thing. And that's just so ridiculous. I'll never get it. And I don't care what anybody says. That is a hill I'm willing to die on. Whoopi Goldberg should have got the Oscar. I don't know if I said this last time or if I just said this on my close friends at one point. I'm usually not willing to die on hills. There's hardly ever a hill I care enough about to die on. That is one of the hills I will die on. I don't care. That's a hill I'll die on. Like, I'll die on that hill down. What are some other performances that deserved Oscars and didn't get it? Honestly, Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada. Sorry. Obviously, that's not on the level of Angela Bassett and Whoopi Goldberg. But it is still a thing I think that she deserves. Hold on. We're going to look up who beat her. I know she was nominated. ...2007 Oscars. Okay, let's go here. Yes. Okay, hold on, it's taking me a little longer to find than I thought, Chad. Okay. I think we're just gonna have to go the old-fashioned way. Okay. Like, why are they trying to play with me? One moment, sorry. Please! Okay. 2007. There we go, okay. Actress in a leading role. Okay, Helen Mirren won for The Queen. I haven't seen her in The Queen. I've seen clips. I think Meryl Streep still deserved it. Had a man played that role, he would have won the Oscar. I don't care. Meryl Streep, she's one of the greatest actresses of all time. She's someone who I don't think is overrated. I think she's very properly rated. Do I think 21 Oscar nominations is a lot? Yes. Okay, so maybe she is a little overrated. Well, no, by the Academy. Just by the Academy. I think people putting her as one of the greatest of all time, I think is deserved. Yeah, I think 21 nominations is a lot. Girl, calm down. Girl, calm down. Girl. But yeah, she should have won the Oscar for that. I don't care. Such a great movie. Such a great movie. I don't care. Who was nominated for Best Actress in a Supporting Role? Anybody from the movie? Oh, no. Jennifer Hudson won that year for Dreamgirls, though. Completely deserved. Completely deserved. Oh. Eddie Murphy should have won supporting for Dreamgirls. I would have loved that. That would have been phenomenal. Anyway, who are some other people that deserved Oscars that they didn't get but they should have got? Ariana Grande should have got Best Supporting Actress. I don't care. She should have got Best Supporting Actress. Especially over Zoe Saldana. Girl, please. Girl, please. Zoe Saldana, Zoe Saldana, Zoe Saldana. Girl, bye. I'm over it. Oh! I remember what I wanted to talk about. Um, People saying Gen Z is the most politically correct and most like softest generation. But I'm gonna look at this in the vein of jokes. And a lot of comedians being like, oh, this generation's too soft. We can't tell the jokes we want to anymore. We want to joke about hanging monkeys from trees. Why can't we joke about that anymore? Girl, shut up, girl. Girl, shut up, girl. Girl, shut up, girl. Shut up. You know what I mean? What is cool? Oh, I think my shirt is blending into the bed. There's pink sheets on my bed anyway. That's not the point. You, I just think there's two things. One, I think the rules changed. And let me just start by saying I don't think that's true. I think one, the rules changed, and I think two, the times have changed. Let me explain. 50 years ago, let's just say, if the Queen of England died and people came out making jokes about it, it would have been bad. If you made jokes about the Queen dying in the 70s, especially as a comedian, people would have been pissed. Nowadays, if you make a joke about the Queen dying, girl, standing ovation. You know what I'm saying? And, or 20 years ago, if you made a 9/11 joke, I turned on the reactions because I thought it would be fun. I'm not having fun. This is me right now. What's this one? Hey! Hey! Anyways. Let me turn them off while we're here because it's gonna piss. 20 years ago, if you made a 9/11 joke, it would have been bad, girl. They would have had you, girl. Nowadays, people will laugh. I will laugh and I'll make the joke. Okay. Is it okay to make jokes about 9/11? Not really. But I think it's gotten to a point where 9/11 has almost turned into like a tall tale in American history. And also when you think about the fact that our government fully could have stopped it from happening and they just did not, and then in turn used that to turn America into a surveillance state and to become a global police force, to literally strip us away from most of our civil liberties while also doing the same around the world. It's kind of like, girl, yes, I'm gonna joke about it. I'm gonna joke about it. All them people, mind you, when you also put it into perspective about how 9/11 is like America's never forget. Now you have Republican lawmakers talking about abolish TSA. But I thought y'all said never forget, but you forgot. Anyways, when we dropped the bombs on Japan, it killed 120,000 people. 120,000 people. Let me say this again. 120,000 people. 9/11 killed like 3,500. When you put it into perspective, also 120,000, hold on. Let's go see what Japan's population was in 1945. Let's go look, America. Because they won't get me with their propaganda. $72 million. Was that 0.1% of their population, which does not sound like a lot. Hold on. That would have been like killing 22 million Americans. Exactly. Actually, I don't think I did the math right. That doesn't sound right. Hold on. Okay, 224,000 Americans. That sounds a lot better. That would have been like killing 224,000 Americans. So like double. Oh, I guess I could have got that when I saw that the. Anyways, that's not the point. If someone had killed 224,000 Americans in one fell swoop, that's something you don't forget. But when America let 3,500 Americans die and then use that to take everyone else's rights away in the name of protecting them, I'm going to make a joke. I'm going to make a joke. I'm going to make a joke. If you're mad at me making a joke, go be mad at George Bush for letting them die. I didn't kill them and I didn't let them die. Sorry. So yes, when something bad happens to me, I am going to say this is my 9/11. And what about it? And so again, if I made a joke saying something was my 9/11 in 2003, let's just say 2003, I would have been burned at the stake. But now you can make that joke and people will laugh. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think another thing too is, yes, there are more rules, but in a different way. Because, for example, a lot of, not these don't even be examples really, but a lot of comedians are upset that they can't make like racist jokes anymore because they're not funny. If you're a white person, why are you making jokes about black people? It's giving punch down. It's giving making fun of, and not in a good way. It's very just punch downy. And so it's not funny because it doesn't come from a place of, when you're a white person making jokes about black people, we have to understand the historical context of this. We have to understand the implications of that. And so that just makes the joke like not even funny. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, but black people, haha, watermelon. It's not fucking funny. It's not funny. And the thing I think too, the reason those jokes hit like crack back in the day is because everyone was racist. The joke didn't even have to be that good. As long as you were racist, the joke would have hit. Nowadays, it's not funny. The joke was never funny, but you were able to get the joke off and have people laughing because they were racist too. But now that we'll just say now that a lot of people aren't, it's not funny. No one's laughing. So it's not because people are politically correct, it's because the joke's not funny. A lot of people say things like, oh, you have to be so politically correct, and that's why their jokes don't work. No, your jokes don't work because they're not funny. Most people, I'm going to be honest, most people will excuse hatred in jokes and bigotry in jokes if the joke is funny enough. So y'all think people aren't laughing because they're too politically correct? Or are they not laughing because you're not funny? But yeah, I think the rules have changed. There's a lot of things. Yes, there are a lot of things from back in the day that you could joke about that you can't joke about now. But there's a lot of things from back in the day that you couldn't joke about that you can joke about now. The rules are just different. I don't understand why people will try and tell the same jokes from 1975 and are upset that they don't work anymore. Well, of course they don't work anymore. They're old and they're tired. Come up with new stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why, for example, Joan Rivers, at the end of her life, towards the end of her life, we'll say, just wasn't that funny because she started getting very punch downy and forgot why she got famous and why people loved her. Joan Rivers got famous and people loved her because she was good at commentary in a way. She would think of things in a way no one thought about it. Also, one of her big things was she was one of the best at making self-deprecating jokes. One of the best. I think her and Conan are really up there when it comes to the self-deprecating jokes. Um, and I think towards the end of her life, she started deprecating everybody else. And it was like, oh, literally, I went to watch one of her specials. Why was one of the jokes that Mexican people are ugly? That was the whole joke. That she went to Mexico and no one was pretty. I was like, what the fuck? I turned that shit off so fast. I said, girl, what? That was the joke. That was the joke. But I think one of the funniest jokes that she tells, she was like, she usually starts off with saying, I wasn't loved as a child. I really just wasn't loved as a child. My mother didn't want me. And, the interviewer usually asks, like, well, how do you know that? She was like, well, she would always tell me, why couldn't you be like your cousin Sheila? My cousin Sheila died at birth. Like, that's so stupid. Or when she said she knew her mother didn't want her because she was born with a wire hanger sticking out of her ear. Like, that is so stupid. So then for you to go from jokes like that and looking at things in a way nobody else would look at it, to then literally the whole joke being that Mexicans are ugly. What? It's like, girl, what? Because mind you, you know what? I will say, I think there are evergreen jokes, like jokes that work in any context. And maybe you could have made that and you know what? The joke killed because she probably with a whole bunch of racist white people. But tell those jokes. Tell the jokes about yourself. But when you're just punching down, it's like, girl, what? This isn't funny. Because what are you talking about? That's not funny. It's just the joke is not funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem with a lot of comedians. Especially because, for example, dancing is a skill you can kind of lose as you get older because your body just can't do it anymore. Or singing, you know what I mean? Your body, you can't sing like you used to. Or there's a lot of talents that you can sort of, or skills or gifts that you can kind of lose. You know what I'm saying? And I think because comedy is one that you can't really lose, I think a lot of comedians are almost offended by the notion that they just might not be that funny anymore. You know what I mean? Because, again, like if you're a dancer and you get to a certain age where you just can't do it anymore, that's like one thing. But I think comedians have such a problem with the notion that they just might not be funny anymore. Like they just might not have it anymore. And that it's like, like they want to hold on. And especially because, you're telling this joke from the 70s that's racist and people aren't laughing anymore and they're upset with you for it. And then you're like, well, now I'm going to run even further into it and I'm going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? That's another thing I realize a lot of people do. A lot of people, once they get canceled, which cancel culture, nobody's been canceled. That's not real. The only people that is canceled is maybe, no, I was going to say maybe Shane Dawson. He still gets a lot of views on his YouTube, I'm pretty sure. So nobody's been canceled except for like Zoe Kravitz. Anyways, a lot of people, once they get canceled or they get into controversy, they run so fast to the other side. What is that about? Instead of just realizing, oh shoot, maybe this is wrong. They like dig their feet into the sand. Their toes, like they dig their feet into the sand about it. And I don't get that. Why not just accept the fact that you were wrong and just move on? You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, this generation is not that politically correct for y'all to be doing this big one. Like really, truly, when you think about it, again, the day the Queen died, Twitter was comedy freaking central. Like, girl, people yeah, it's just like, girl, I was gonna give up on that sentence. It's just the fact that times have changed. Different jokes work now. Jokes that worked back in the day might not work nowadays. You just gotta figure out what it is that's funny now. What it is people are willing to laugh about. And who's your audience? Like... Also, think like offensive jokes are also lazy. They're also lazy. Sorry. It's so lazy to get the lowest hanging of fruit. And I think that's another thing that people don't realize too. 9 times out of 10, like fat jokes, racist jokes, they're all just so cheap. And especially for someone like Joan Rivers, where it's like, girl, you are kind of known for almost a kind of cerebral, like, fart. The fuck? I was trying to say funny and smart. Smart, clever, intelligent, and clever comedy. That it's like, for you to be getting the low hanging fruit and taking all these cheap shots like that, it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, when there's comedians that I know are really good and really funny and really clever and really smart, and they're making these like cheap jokes, it's like, what are you doing that for? You don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Anyone can make a racist joke, but only you can make the jokes that you're known for. So it's also just cheap. You know what I mean? And I think that's another thing a lot of comedians are not willing to accept. It's just that if all you can come up with is racist jokes and offensive jokes and cheap shots, maybe you don't have it anymore, darling. Maybe you don't have it anymore. But you know who does have it? Me. Yeah. Also, I want to do stand-up comedy. I think I could do it. You know what? The next episode of Blair's Always Right, I'm going to have a stand-up segment. And I'm going to start working out material. I'm going to start working on material, girl. I'm going to start shopping around my material, girl. And I'm gonna put my set together. And the Blair is Always Right season 1 finale is just gonna be my stand-up special. That would actually kind of be fun a little bit. Should I have seasons? I kind of want to have seasons. Whole time the seasons is just me changing to like winter and fall. Anyway, that wasn't funny. Anyway, yeah, this generation is not that soft. Calm down. Not that politically correct, girl. It's just that our politically correct and incorrect looks a lot different than what it used to be. Also, you lot are not funny. Like Matt Rife, you're just not funny. Because again, people will laugh at what's funny. And 9 times out of 10, if you get a lot of heat and a lot of pushback and you wind up getting canceled for an offensive joke you made, it's because it wasn't funny. It's not because of how offensive it was. It's because it wasn't funny. Because if a joke is good enough and funny enough, no matter how offensive it is, people will laugh. So if you're getting controversy because people weren't laughing, it just wasn't funny. It just wasn't funny. There's a lot of comedians that are able to get away with saying some of the craziest stuff because they're funny. Sorry. Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? Do. And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. Do. And all that jazz, start the car and know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. Shout out to Chicago. What? No shade. The original 1996 cast. Whoops all of y'all. Whoops y'all. I'm sorry. Everybody loved the Chicago movie. I was not gagging. Also, when was the movie made? Wasn't it like the early 2000s? Please! We're not doing this. I'm not going to keep doing this. 2002? That's only 6 years after the original show opened. Not the original, obviously, but the 1996 one opened. Why couldn't they have done it? Sorry, but Anne Ranking and BB Newirth could have did that. Sorry. Sorry. Shout out Renee Zellweger. You're not Anne Ranking. And you'll never be. And you'll never be. Oh my gosh. And when Anne Ranking's performing it, and when she does the lady raking in the chips is gonna be Roxy. Yeah. Shout out to Chicago. Shout out to musicals. Shout out to Evita. That's my favorite musical. One day we're going to come on here and talk about that. Evita is just too good. It's too good. And I hate that my favorite musical is an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. I hate that for me. But I'm sorry. And shout out to Patti LuPone. Shout out to Mandy Patinkin. But the original London cast is better. I'm sorry, but the original London cast is better. No shade, Elaine Page whoops Patty. I'm sorry. She just does. David Essex whoops Mandy Patinkin. I'm so sorry. But the way, especially because David Essex plays Jay's character with he's so condescending the whole time. And that's what sells it. That's what sells it. Shay's character is supposed to hate Ava. So the entire time he's condescending. Literally, when the very first song in it, Oh What a Circus, is making fun. Please! When the whole first song in the musical is making fun of Ava for dying. When it says, you let down your people, Evita. You were supposed to have been immortal. That's all they wanted. Not much to ask for. That's a crazy thing to say. He hates her. He don't like her. So David Essex being condescending and sounding so condescending and over it and being a hater the whole time, he just sells it. He just freaking sells it. That's one big reason why I don't really like the original Broadway cast. Because Mandy Patinkin doesn't play it as condescending. And he doesn't sell hater very well. And I'm kind of like, girl, what? You don't sound like that much of a hater. Like, girl, what are you talking about? But that's a conversation for maybe another day. Because this video is already long enough. And I'm going to have to edit it. And I'm really upset about that. Like, girl, are you fucking kidding me? Edit a video. What is that about? That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, the original London cast album is better. Actually, let's talk about Sondheim for a moment. What was that? Yeah, Stephen Sondheim, I'm sorry, but he needs to start being respected as a literary genius. Shakespeare, who? Stephen Sondheim could have wrote Romeo and Juliet. Shakespeare could have never written Ladies Who Lunch. Sorry. I think Stephen Sondheim just was so good at conveying the human experience through song. Also, because he was a composer as well as a writer, the music and the feelings and the words just really just. And Sondheim's songs are just so... He just gets it. Like, you have to sometimes sit back and wonder, how does he know that? You know what I mean? Like, the song Being Alive, for example. It talks about what it feels like to kind of reject the notion of love. Because you're like, you know, it's in nothing like someone to hold you too close, someone to know you too well, someone to pull you up short and put you through hell. And it's kind of just like, kind of almost how I kind of feel about marriage and relationships. Like, bitch, it's just somebody to bother and annoy me, please. But then in the middle, it switches to him begging, like, somebody hold me too close. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell. Like, how do you know that? How do you know that people feel like that? Why do you know that that's the mental process of it? How do you know that? Not asking, like, how do you know that? It's like, why do you know that? Or it's like the Ladies Who Lunch. Why are you able to tap into the psyche of women in the 70s? Why do you know that? And how the heck were you able to put it into song like that? Sondheim is just too good at describing it. He's so good at describing, defining, and putting into words the human experience. People of all walks of life, of all backgrounds, how are you able to do that? He was really, truly like, there will never be another, excuse me. Not only was he just a great storyteller, you again, you could just tell he understood the human experience. And I don't know how one comes to know that much about it and about what life means to so many different people, and to have such insight of the psychological aspect of so many experiences and circumstances that can happen, like in Could I Leave You. He is able, like, how, who are you that, who was he that he was so able to explain and convey and pull out the emotions of a woman? I think the character's in her 50s or 60s, talking to her husband about them getting a divorce, and her describing all the horrible things that he put her through, and her saying, yeah, you know what, I get, like, basically explaining how their divorce was going to play out, and how she's not going to miss him, and how she already got her lick back and she already cheated on him, and how when they divorce, I want this, I want this, I want this, you're going to give me this, you're going to give me this, and plays out their whole divorce and plays it out and just puts it all on the table, but then still comes to the conclusion at the end, but I'm still not going to leave you because I just can't. That's crazy. How do you know that? In the song, she says, because I think he wants to asking, like, could you leave me? Like, basically she's saying, like, could I leave you? And she's like, and your shelves of the world's best books, and the evenings of martyred looks, cryptic sighs, sullen glares from those injured eyes, leave the quips with a sting, jokes with a sneer, passionless love making once a year. And and like, it'll start slow, but then it'll build up and build up. And then I think in the like the play of it, I think the guy goes to try and like leave while she's talking, and she's like, just wait a goddamn minute. And it's like this rage and the push and pull and ebbs and flows of how angry she is at him, almost the suggestion that she can't leave him, or she would never leave him. Or could I live through the days on a terrace in Spain, would it pass? It would pass. And her saying, like, girl, even like if I leave you, I'm gonna get over it, and I'm gonna be with a new nigga by tomorrow, please. And her saying, no, the point is, could you leave me? Well, and even that part is just so good, you know. Could I leave you? No, the point is, could you leave me? Well, I guess you could leave me the house, leave me the flat, leave me the Brocs and Chagalls and all that. She tells him, oh, like, girl, leave, I want these paintings, I want this piano, I want the apartment, I want this, you know what I mean? You can have this other stuff. Or when she says, you could leave me the stocks for sentiment's sake, and 90% of the money you make, like, goes through all of that, and then still says, could I leave you? Yes, but will I leave you? And then she just goes at the end, guess. And we can guess that she's not. It's like, it's so sad. That sort of defeat of knowing, like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. But will I do it? No. How was Stephen Sondheim? Granted, he was gay, so he was one of the girls. But how were you able to describe and how are you able to so eloquently and so completely and thoroughly describe the plight of a 50-year-old woman who's trapped in a marriage without being there, without, like, how were you able to do that? Because he was a literary genius. Because he was a literary genius. And one day y'all are going to realize that. Or even I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure he wrote the lyrics for Gypsy. Again, which is such an evergreen musical that we are still talking about. It came out in the what, the 60s, late 50s? And we're still talking about it today. Audra McDonald was able to yet again find another layer of nuance, find more meat off the bone, so to speak, to get from the musical. She still was able to uncover pieces and parts of that musical and those lyrics and that story, which again was a real story. Like, there was Gypsy Rose Lee's story, but again, to turn a story into a musical is a whole different beast. Again, Audra McDonald still today, 60 some years later, was able to still find layers and pieces and nuance to the story that still had yet to be explored in 60 some odd years. That's literary genius. If your work can still, if people are still finding new things 60 years later and still able to take this story and transform it without changing it, but transforming it, building a new level of understanding to it after so long, that's literary genius. Even I mean, like, it's even with Rose, how do you know the plight of a stage mom in the 30s? What do you know? What do you know? Is Stephen Sondheim a traveler? A time traveler? Something like that's just so crazy to me. If you are watching this right now, please go out, find a Stephen Sondheim musical, and just listen to one of the songs. And watch and look at the lyrics. I mean, go find some context for it too. Or even I'm Still Here from Follies. That's the same musical that Could I Leave You's from. I love that song. How do, like, and it's a woman, again, I think 50s, maybe even 60s, I don't know, who's describing all she's been through in her career, but again, but I'm still here. You know, like how do you know what it was like in the Great Depression? Actually, was he there? No. Not like what it was like in the Great Depression, but like being able to describe the Great Depression and the 40s and all this from the perspective of that character is just too good. It's just too good. How do you know these things? What do you know? Like, it's just so crazy. And I think because it's something like theater and musical theater at that, something that's not really for everybody. Had to do my big one. Sorry. Because it's something that's not for everybody and that a lot of people, I know y'all heard my voice cracking. Sorry. Because it's something that that's not for everybody. I'm finally gonna get the sentence out. And that a lot of people think it's corny. I think a lot of people don't pay attention to it from a literary lens. And I think because of, again, people think of it as corny and tacky or whatever, whereas like plays are oftentimes looked at from a literary lens, almost like always, usually, that people forget to look at musicals from a literary perspective. Also because of, for example, someone like Andrew Lloyd Webber, who also, he is a composer. He's not writing the lyrics. So I hate that he gets all of this credit. Like, girl, who are you in this world? Andrew Lloyd Webber, hold on. Andrew Lloyd Webber, why is it not doing it now? Does it have to be? Okay. Andrew Lloyd Webber, this is what I say for you. Yeah. Yeah. I think because of someone like Andrew Lloyd Webber, who does musicals about, like, girl, what are you talking about? And because of a lot of commercial musicals, you know what I mean, and so many IP musicals as well that are just kind of like Okay, hey, that people forget that there are a lot of musicals that are like that are literary masterpieces. You know what I mean? And I think Sondheim also does not get the credit he deserves for writing. And I think that we all need to take a step back and really take a look at some of the stuff he's written and just like, girl, why do you know that? How do you know that? And I also think too, a big part of a lot of stuff that he did, so many stories he told were so specific yet so universal that it's like, girl, what, like, how do you know this? Especially as like a white man. Yes, you're gay, but you're also a white man. What do you know? You know? The name on everybody's lips is gonna be Roxy, the lady raking in the chips is gonna be Roxy. I'm gonna be a celebrity. That means somebody everyone knows. They're gonna recognize my eyes, my hair, my teeth, my boobs, my nose. Ooh, Wow. Shout out to Candor and Ebb too. Candor and Ebb did their big one. Cabaret, girl. Also, what's his name? I can see his face. He kind of has a scary face. He kind of scary looking. What's his name? He literally wrote Wicked, the musical, not the book. Steven. He's a Steven too. Steven Schwartz. His musicals are good too. Pippin. Pippin is so good. But can I be real? The leading player is a lot better as a woman. Shout out to Ben Vereen, you did your big one. But Patina Miller, Patina Miller, girl, that is mother. That is mother. Fun fact about Patina Miller, did y'all know that when they were doing Dreamgirls and about to make the movie, it was her, Jennifer Hudson, and another girl that were all top 3 to play Effie? Now, granted, Patina knew she was wrong for auditioning for Effie. Girl, you are not. You're literally skinny. Like, what are you doing? But either way, she's so good, so talented, so amazing. Oh, the Sister Act musical, love. But yeah, her as the leading player. You look. I think it's time for me to shut up. And with it being, could I do a Hannibal impression? This. Do you know what you look like with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube, a wild, scrubbed, hustling rube. Anyways, now it is time to end our show today. Yes, I think we're coming to the end because I don't got nothing else to talk about, which is crazy. Also, one thing I'm noticing, I think a lot. Like I said, I think a lot and I talk to myself a lot. Yesterday, a big reason why I had so much fun recording and why I turned on the camera again today is because when I get off, I have nothing else to think about. I'm like, you know what? I kind of did leave it all on the stage. This stage. Oh, wait! Hold on. What is over there? Oh my gosh, I didn't even know something was over there. What is that? Oh, those are other doors you can go in. Oh my gosh, girl. I didn't even see that was there. You know what? It's only right. Yes, we've had a lot of fun here. It's only right that we go to the lake to end this. It's only right we end this at the lake. Yes, girl, we're at the lake, girl. Okay, everyone. This has been the second episode of Blair's Always Right. Now, with all of this being said, with Girl, bye. With all that being said, go out into the world, talk your shit, run your mouth, and give the world all of your opinions. But always remember that Blair's always what? Right. Exactly. Bye!